Hi everyone, I'm Glory Ukwinga of Africana League Development Initiative. You're listening to Ombudsman Radio.
Hello everyone, wherever you're watching from. The program, of course, you know, is Spark. And what is Spark? Spark is that program where we bring successful people who are making a mark in their industries and who are just doing great things. Today on the program, of course, you know that we've been focusing on the staff and peoples of the Public Complaints Commission of recent, and we're going to continue with that today. Today on the program, we have three top government officials who are deputy directors of the Public Complaints Commission, and they'll introduce themselves now. My name is Lola Oduba, and welcome to the program. Sir, may we have your names?
My names are Oga Folonsho.
And what do you
do? A deputy director in charge of industrial relations.
My name is Benga Medrovi. I'm the Deputy Director in charge of pension and welfare.
My name is Karatu Samuel Bala, Deputy Director of Administration.
Very good. Thank you so much for coming on the program, and I'm sure that a lot of people would like to hear from you. Recently, we had the Chief Commissioner come to talk to the staff of the commission. Let's start from that before we now go to what each and everyone does and, of course, how it impacts the commission. But we had recently, of course, the speech of the Chief Commissioner, especially on staff and discipline. Let's take it from staff and discipline first. Deputy Director in charge of admin, can you take us on that and how you felt about that aspect of the speech?
All right, thank you so much. First and foremost, I want to thank God for giving us this opportunity to be here, and it's a great thing for a person of this caliber, the Honorable Chief Commissioner, to be here with us and refer to the speech that has to do with discipline. Discipline is a paramount issue in man's life. You must discipline yourself before you become a professional of a particular job. Then, and even in the job, you must keep to the ethics of the organizations, because each discipline, each organization, each profession has its own discipline. So you must stick to it. We talk about punctuality. It's also discipline. You must be punctual in anything you're doing. You must be static so that you will be a professional in it. You must learn to the roots of that professional that you're doing, and that makes you disciplined. So once you have been disciplined on the particular job or professions, that single you out for your performances.
I would like to say that the basis for any organizational growth is for staff to adhere by this condition of service and by the rules and regulation of that organization. And if you don't do that, the place turns to a marketplace. And when it's a marketplace, you cannot achieve success. So discipline is paramount in an organization. For that organization to grow, it is expected that staff should show themselves in the way they have been trained. Now, if you are not disciplined, for example, you are given instructions and you don't adhere to those instructions, it becomes a problem for the organization. And the organization's objectives will not be achieved. So discipline is very, very important in the organizational build-up so to achieve success.
Sir, you are also the Deputy Director of Welfare. And I know that the Chief Commissioner mentioned severally that all of the arrears that has been owed members of staff of the commission will be paid. And tell me, especially with your department, how did your people feel?
Well, we felt so happy and relieved.
Yeah.
One of the things that would motivate staff is the welfare of staff. If the welfare of staff are not taken care of, it becomes an issue. You will see staff will be demotivated. Now, for the Chief Commissioner in his humility to come out and say we'll make sure that staff's welfare are taken care of, it will give staff, in fact, myself, it gave me a lot of motivation. And I hope that would also go round to, it will trickle down to every other person. If money owed staff are paid, because if you notice, our organization has not really done enough in terms of staff welfare. And this one is a welcome development that will transform the way we work, people will be motivated to work. They will put in their best when they know that their interests are being taken care of. Yeah.
In what ways do you think that the welfare of staff can be better enhanced, in your opinion?
Okay, there are lots of ways that we could enhance staff welfare by bringing out schemes to assist them, because you know that the economic situation in Nigeria is not that easy anymore. Transportation wise, maybe staff buses for staff from different locations, we don't really have enough in the commission. So if that is done, that would also increase productivity. People will come to work often. Paying staff as of when due, that would encourage staff to know that yes, your allowances are being paid as at when due. So people would also come to work. We could also provide other allowances to staff, hazard allowance. In the course of work, our investigators, they go out to investigate cases. And at times they meet with people that behave in certain ways. Their life is at risk. So sometimes we need to behave in a certain manner that would comport the staff and know they will give their all whenever they are going out. They are not afraid of anything. So those are some few ways that we could also improve on staff welfare.
Fantastic. I know the Chief Commissioner is listening, and the funny thing is that he enumerated that as long as you are a staff of the commission, you will be looked after. That just brought joy to a lot of people. Sir, tell us, industrial relations, what did you think about the Chief Commissioner's speech? And how did it make your staff feel?
First of all, I must give thanks to God Almighty for today. In the sense that in the history of Public Complaints Commission, it has never been like this. It's coming up with a new dawn, with a new man of high integrity, which of course we believe that is God's appointed time. Because it has come and is God's appointed time, we believe solely that his speech will not just be a speech. It's a speech that will be followed to the latter, relating it to the welfare of a team. I think one of the best way to me to add to what a Deputy Director in charge of welfare has just said is by way of a structured policy. When you talk of welfare, if the policies are not there, welfare can be truncated. If you have a standard policy, at the end of the month, this person is entitled to this one is entitled to this, you now know that it's a policy that has to do with welfare that must be followed to the latter. But if those things are not there, we have had it in the past where somebody will say, okay, I will give you welfare of this, I will do this. It doesn't last long because it's not a policy. It's not a registered policy. So if we must succeed, going by the Chief Commissioner's speech as regards taking care of staff, then he has to go deep into a structured policy, which will cut across in all levels of the staff.
Fantastic. Now tell us, sir, you are the Deputy Director in charge of industrial relations. Tell us about your unit and what you do there.
Well, going by the word industrial relations, the primary function of industrial relations is in an organization or wherever you find yourself, in an establishment, is to provide solutions wherever there are crises. At all time, provide peace. Make sure the environment is conducive for people to thrive. In doing that, I relate majorly with the management and the union to ensure that if there are issues that will have to kind of create problem, we dash them up before it comes up.
Can you give us an instance where, your expertise was put to test and you were called upon to act?
Well, if we not too long when we had the strike, all of us are aware that this office was locked down for 25 days, which of course is like an unusual incident and as well as ugly scenario. I think at that particular time I was put to test because my appointment as head of industrial relations came at the middle of the crisis.
Wow.
So I am new, but with my experience based on the fact that at one time I was head of the unit. As a chairman of unit, I have to employ that schemes to put an end to the crisis, but it was risky.
Wow.
Yes,
But you were able to do it.
I was able to do it.
With what? Tell us. Is there any secret to which any secret portion? Or what did you apply at that time?
Yes,
You must have been wisdom at its highest level.
What I did was to
Yes.
work closely with the labor leaders to let them know what they want to put an end to that crisis.
Fantastic. Very good.
And because before you can put an end to crisis, you must work with the labor. Let them know what they want. At the moment you know what they want, how do you go about it? At that particular time, they were forced to open up to me that if we must put an end to this crisis, they have to hold meeting with the chief executive, which is the Honorable Chief Commissioner, outside any other commissioner or top management officer. And you know, at that particular time, in my capacity and at my level, it seems difficult for me to go and meet a commissioner and say you cannot be part of this meeting. And you know what it means, going to your boss to tell your boss, oh, you can't hold meeting that will lead to resolution of a crisis. That was the first step, and God helped me and God guided me. I was able to convince the commissioners and the state cleared. Then the union equally insisted that the secretary to the commission or director, any other director cannot sit with them if they must put an end to that crisis. And I look at myself. The current secretary to the commission conducted interview on me that brought me to this commission. So how do you face such a person and say, man, you can't be part of this meeting? It took me courage, real courage to be able to break through.
True.
And I was already tired of, crisis, we cannot continue like this. So I have to first of all go to the director of administration and say, ma, I know you are my boss. Boss, as it is now, we must put an end to this crisis. And how do we put an end to it? This is what the union wants. And in putting an end, you must abide to what the union wants. It's okay, what exactly did they want? I said, you will not be part of this meeting today. She was shocked. I went to the secretary, told her same, and she responded by saying, Oga, like I said, she conducted that interview on me. She said, Oga, do you know what you are saying? I conducted interview that brought you to PCC. I said, ma, I am not talking to you based on that interview. I am not talking to you based on my designation as a deputy director, but rather I was talking to you based on the appointment you gave me because you issued that letter.
Fantastic.
As head of industrial relations. The primary function of head of industrial relations is to provide
mitigate peace.
Yes. And if you discover that is the only thing that will guarantee peace,
then you
don't
go
have
ahead
a
and
do it.
Fantastic.
So I was able to
now,
do it.
in going forward, how do you now intend that such a thing does not happen again?
Well, issues like that, as it is now, by the grace of God, based on the recent appointment of the new set of commissioners
and the new chief
commissioners, I believe that such thing will not come up again. Because I have had discussions with the union, and the way the chief commissioner have started, we have been able to let him know that his time is going to be the first time where commissioners will come and there will not be crisis.
Fantastic.
The only thing is, if he has said, like we all know, he's a man of integrity. If he stick to that integrity,
there will be no problem.
There will be no problem.
Fantastic. Now, in terms of welfareism, I mean, people are always interested in, especially how their livelihoods are met. How, of course, in going forward, do you intend to make sure that the people under you are taken care of, sir?
Well, exactly. One of the things we want to do is to propose a review of the staff welfare policy. we have an existing policy, but because of inflationary tendencies and trend, some of the proposal there needs to be reviewed. So we will try and put up a memo to that effect, so that management will consider and see. So because it captures some aspect of welfare for staffs, and if that is done, the staff will be better off for it. Also, we will try and find schemes that would try and relieve the burden on staff, because we know that these are perilous times.
Yes.
Times are hard. People are with the current rise in prices of product and everything. It's hard for staffs.
A lot of people.
So we will try and see what we can do. We'll make proposals. We'll try and bring up schemes that would benefit staff.
Fantastic. Sir, what about you?
To me,
Yeah.
you know, in regards to the Chief Commissioner's
Speech.
you know, it's a policy statement which needs to be implemented. And he cannot do it alone.
Yes.
The management staff has to put in tools to support him. It also go far to where he's coming from, the National Assembly, because issue of welfare has to do with money. Issue of motivation,
Administration?
yes. Issue of welfare has to do with money. It has to involve training also, because all these things are elements of motivation. So once you have a focus that you will be attending a program, even before then, you will be excited, you will be willing to put in your best on the job. So I think in addition to that, and knowing fully that administration generally is the backbone of every department. So without admin, without implementation, without putting all these things in place, it will be a mere statement that will not be put in place. So we have to put our tools, we have to put ourselves on the height motion to be moving, so that we make sure that we succeed, and the commissioner too will succeed, so that it will be remarkable in the system.
Oh, well, we also remember that he mentioned the fact that training will be continued.
Yes.
It will be ongoing,
Yes.
that he's not going to stop that. So that's something else to look forward to, when you know that staff can be retrained on the job and just given all the tools, necessary tools, to be able to move forward.
Yes, training is paramount. Just like I said, like some of us that are here, before you get to this level, they have been trained. There are training on the job. There are training that the organization can allow you to go. So there are training that they can even allow you to go to school to sponsor yourself. Either we study leave with pay or study leave without pay. All these things are process of training, so that you can improve yourself, so that once you are improved, then the organization earns the better productivity about the staff. So it gives once an output of what you have learned so far.
Fantastic. And to cap it all, I remember that I mentioned forgiving one another. That was such a powerful statement, because, you know, before you can move forward in life, you must adopt the spirit of forgiveness. Now, whoever is watching and you're wondering who we've been talking with, we've been speaking with the deputy directors in several units of the Public Complaints Commission. The program is Spark, and I want to thank you so much, deputy directors, for coming to share your time with us, coming to explain with us, especially the plans that you have for your units, and we look forward to a better Public Complaints Commission. Any final word to the viewer watching?
Well, still on that forgiveness, when you look at it critically, is give and take. Because once you want to forgive, you must be willing to accept. If it's two-way, you have to shift from this base to the other. Just like the union man was talking, because in negotiation, you must not get it all. The union has to shift, the management have to shift, and then we now arrive
at a destination.
At a destination. So it's the same thing to forgiveness.
Yes.
You must forgive your boss. You must forgive your subordinate, because there are things your boss can do. You cannot confront your boss, but then with that of forgiveness, you can allow you to go, despite the fact he's your boss. Then you allow you to go. Then the subordinate too. That shouldn't give you a priority because I am the boss. Then I can do and undo. No, And we are being guided by the rules and regulations. So once we stick to the rules and regulations of the organization, it gives us a better understanding.
I remember also at the National Assembly that the President of the Senate mentioned that due publicity must be given to the Public Complaints Commission to make sure that a lot of people are able to know about the commission, to know about the activities of the commission, and especially the relevance of the commission to the Nigerian public. What is your view on that?
Very, very important. Without publicity, there is no vision. You can't really see the organization or what the organization is doing. And that's a very, very welcome development from the National Assembly. We pray that they will be able to give our management and the Chief Commissioner the funds to be able to publicize. Part of what you're doing here is also part of publicity, and it helps to identify and allow people to know what the commission is doing, our goals, some of the achievements that we are doing, because there are cases, a number of cases that we have solved. We have not actually been able to publicize them very well, so that people will know that, oh, this organization is there.
And the funny thing now, it's free.
It's free.
Free of charge.
And that's very, very important. Without publicity, there is no awareness. People won't know about the organization. So we pray that funds will be made available to the Honorable Chief Commissioner and to the Commission and the management, so that we can, all the plans that we have had to publicize this commission properly, we'll be able to execute it and bring them to fruition.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been great. I've had you on. We've been speaking with the Deputy Director Administration, Mr. Karatu Samuel Bala. Yes. Thank you so much. Mr. Benga, Deputy Director Welfare. Thank you so much. And of course, Mr. Oga, Deputy Director Industrial Relations. Thank you so much for coming to the Ombudsman's Radio to come and share your time with us and come and, of course, talk about some things that you want to happen at the Public Complaints Commission. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
me. The program is Spark. My name is Lola Oduba. And believe me, it's not just me that does this. We have a team of people that work behind the cameras. And of course, I want to especially thank Mr. Abayomi. Thank you so much for always making sure that you come through for the Ombudsman's Radio. To all the staff and the personnel of the Ombudsman's Radio, you guys are big up. Thank you so much. The program continues in a moment. Don't go nowhere. See you again.
Hi everyone, I'm Glory Ukwinga of Africana League Development Initiative. You're listening to Ombudsman Radio.